Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Now you are a champion. God is my witness. Imperfect perfection. Living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. All I need is inside of me. I am enough and now I see. Yeah, I will reach my destiny. I don't need your permission. Yes, I'm on a mission. I'll win. Oh, 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 yeah. Oh, yeah. Now listen, I want y'all to repeat after me, okay? Because we're going to make some declarations in here today. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say, I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. Say, I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see me. Say, oh, say I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say, we are standing bolder, we're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder, we're shoulder to shoulder. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. Hey, yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so excited to be back. You guys know I used to be here every Wednesday for Impact the World Radio, and now, God is moving and shifting, and he got me going all over the world, impacting lives. And so I'm only able to be here once a month. We're typically here the last Wednesday of every month. Sometimes it fluctuates depending on my travel and schedule. But I'm so excited. I feel like it's been forever since I've seen you and talked to you. I'm super excited about all the amazing guests we have chimed in on Facebook Live, and those of you who are watching us on voxwave.com. I'm just trying to tell you today's show is juicy. Like, I got here early for today's show. Sometimes I'm just running in the room. Y'all hear? Y'all, it sounds like it's like 100 people in the studio, right? So this group, prepare yourself, right? Strap in, put your seatbelt on, because we have some juicy topics. Before I jump into the juicy topics and introduce my first guest, look, I got to thank Tammy Turner, who wrote, produced, and sang. She ain't sang. She sang that song, and she created it for the Playtime is Over Women's Business Conference, but we have adopted it here, impacting the world, because what are we doing as women especially? We are standing bold. We're standing shoulder to shoulder, supporting each other, loving on each other, holding each other accountable, and elevating each other to our next level. So I love the song. I mean, I sing it in my car. It is my own personal anthem, and we hope you love it as much as we do. Everybody typically end up tapping their feet or nodding their head when they hear that song. And then I have to thank my amazing partner of this radio show, Ladrine Peterson. Girl, I love you. I love you. I love you. This is one of the most, look, she getting an audience clap. I'm gonna have to start having an audience up in here, because, or either I'm just gonna have to have these 3 guests back every week. Every week that we're here, so that I can have this kind of energy in the studio. I love it. But Ladrine Peterson is the founder of Do It Delivers, do-it-delivers.com, and she really is so passionate about helping turn dreamers into doers. It is not enough to think about it. You have got to execute. And you cannot be in it for the short term. Like, you got to have your eye on crossing the finish line. And sometimes the finish line move, right? And you didn't expect it. And sometimes you fall down and you stumble and you crawling your way to the finish line. But you owe it to yourself to cross the finish line. So we are here to empower you, to inspire you, to equip you with tools and strategies to use your unique gift and walk in your lane of brilliance to impact the world with your gift. So my first guest here to my left is Dr. Mildred Payton. Dr. Mildred Payton is a local children's author and one of America's leading bullying experts. Y'all know, y'all want to tune in because this is real. Yes. Who helps schools and companies prevent and address bullying problems. Through her signature training and consulting services, she offers strategies and solutions that lower the risk of having unsafe, unhealthy, and unproductive work and school environments. Dr. Payton also shares her expertise and personal experiences with bullying at seminars and conferences to provide audiences with tools on how to recognize and cope with bullying. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You look beautiful in your spring, summer colors. I love it.
Thank you very much.
Bullying. When I saw this topic, I was like, oh, this is going to be juicy because I'm a mother of 3. I have a 11-year-old, 12-year-old, and a 15-year-old. And I worry about bullying because I see a lot of what goes on now. Now, when I was in school, I was bullied, but it wasn't the level of bullying that takes place now.
Yes.
I never thought about taking my own life. It was just like, okay, it is what it is. Suck it up. Go back to school the next day.
Right.
But now, young children are being bullied to the point where they're taking their lives. Talk to us about the epidemic that you're seeing and why you're so passionate about helping kids to be able to process and move through this bullying epidemic that we have, really.
Right. It's definitely, like you said, bullying has changed in so many ways. It's transformed and evolved in the worst ways that you can ever imagine.
Yeah.
Growing up, I too experienced bullying. But just like you mentioned, there is a time where you go through those differences and those conflicts with your peers, but you go home and you get over it.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it might take a little bit longer. But now what we're seeing is the reason why there's such a rise in bullying, and school bullying in particular, is because we have social media, we have the internet.
Yes.
So it doesn't just stop on a school bus or on the schoolyard. It continues beyond that. So it follows your children where they're going, and it's hard to disconnect because a lot of times most of the interaction is online. But it is really disturbing and traumatizing, especially for parents, because when I did my research study in 2015, the results I came up with is no different from what I'm seeing now up until today. It's no difference whatsoever. And that's why I'm very passionate about this topic, because I'm a mother as well. And my children were also experienced bullying in a very severe manner. And to me, that was a major eye-opener. I said, you know, if my children are going through this, I can only imagine, you know, with having all the knowledge and resources and tools to go through this difficult time, I can only imagine what other parents are going through who don't have the knowledge, the time, or the energy to be persistent and protect their children.
Yeah, I mean, and so here's what I always think. So I want you to give us your insight and your expertise. So how do we as parents, we want to protect our children? And my kids know, so I'm a little cray-cray. I might not be the typical parent. Like, I'm like, what? I'll push on my brakes. I'm like, who messed with you today? Because I'll fight a kid. I will fight a kid. That's what I tell my kids, right? My kids know I'm a little special. But for the not so cray-cray parent, right? How do we seriously support and help our children? First of all, to know that they can talk to us and tell us. Because I think a lot of times kids don't want to feel like the punk. They don't want to feel like, oh, I'm going to run home and tell my mommy, and then my mom's going to come to school and embarrass me. And so they take all of that in, and they just keep it inside, and they don't share it with the parents. So I think, number one, what can parents do to open up their lines of communication so that if bullying is happening, our kids will express that to us? Let's start there.
Right. You definitely want to let your children know that it's okay for them to come to you and talk to you about whatever's going on. You want to open that relationship where they feel comfortable to share whatever, you know, is going on with you. Let them know that you're there for them and you're there to support them. But they need to understand that it must be an open line of communication. With my 2 daughters, nothing goes past us. However, you know, their day turns out in school, they will give us the rundown from the time they step into school till the time they get home. So we are very clear. It's almost like a norm. It's a routine.
Yeah.
We're very clear, what to ask them about their day, and they expect that from us. They expect to have a conversation every single day about how their school day went. Right. And like I said, they will give us so much information that you would just be really appreciative of it, but we're teaching them how to talk to us and don't ever be afraid to let us know what's going on.
Yeah, I think that's very, very good. I'm the same way. I talk to my kids. We have kind of our routines. I impress upon them, you can talk to me about anything, and then I incorporate the cray-cray side a little bit to make it fun and funny, because I don't want them to feel like it's too serious, and I always let them know if there's something that's happening or going on, I don't want you to ever feel like it's your fault or you can't tell me because you're scared of the repercussions going to happen to you. Right. Like I agree. I encourage open communication and just talking and telling me exactly what's going on each day. And it gets on my kids' nerves because they're like, oh God, mommy. I'm like, yep. You know what I say to them? That's my job.
That's your job.
And I don't even get a check for it.
Right.
But I take my job seriously. So I have to ask you the questions that you might not want me to ask and might seem silly right now because you're not experiencing it, but suppose you experience it down the road. I want you to know that you can always talk to me.
Absolutely.
And then my other thing is, so what happens when a child does experience bullying and maybe it's become a little more severe and it's affecting them? And that's the other thing I wanted to say is really paying attention to your child's routine, their routine, and their behavior.
That's right.
And when you see a shift in behaviors, it's like, okay, is something going on?
Yes.
Paying attention to who they are. But what can parents do when they become aware that a child is being bullied? Because I'll see examples of stuff on TV, and a child took their life or a child was being bullied or whatever. And my first thought, and I don't want to be judgatory of nobody, but I always think, well, if my kid tells me they're being bullied, I'm taking them out of school. I'm just gonna take them out of the school. They're not gonna keep going to school and being bullied. But you brought up a great point. It still carries online.
Right.
So a lot of times it's not just at school. So just talk about what parents can realistically do if they find out a bullying situation is happening.
The first step definitely is to bring it to the school administrator's attention. When it happened to both our daughters, I made sure I contacted the school immediately. I took a lot of notes. I documented everything, date, time. Just a lot of details were just provided. So I made sure I was able to have enough information before I approached the school.
Right.
So that way when I'm communicating with them, I have my facts written out and according to my daughters, have my information written out so that way we have, a very, a purposeful conversation once I'm dealing with the school. But I would strongly encourage you, yes, you want to bring it to the school's attention. And I know you mentioned earlier that your first reaction will be to remove your child from the school. And a lot of parents do that. They will move from school to school because the problem is not being resolved. I don't think you should have to do that. If it's getting to the point where you've already brought it to their attention and you've taken, to the higher ups, the Board of Education, superintendent, and nothing's still being done, which is common, unfortunately. Yes, you want to look into transferring your child to another school, or sometimes even homeschool them.
Right.
But it's such an inconvenience, and I don't think it's fair for parents to have to go through all those hoops and hurdles just to protect their child when it's the school's responsibility to make sure the issue is addressed.
Yeah.
And I also want to put the responsibility on the parents as well, because you have to teach your children how to be compassionate, kind, and respectful. If you don't teach your children those basic fundamentals, they're going to bring whatever behavior, whatever ideas they have in their heads, they're going to bring that to school.
Right.
So as parents, we have to play our role to make sure our children are not going out there in society or interacting with their peers in any kind of way that's going to be harmful or degrading or humiliating. Right. And so if we can nip that in the bud right there and we start from home, we don't even have to worry about the schools not addressing the issue. There won't be an issue to address. Right. So we need to start from in the house. But since that's not the case most of the time, and the issue happens in school, the school needs to be responsible. They need to be accountable and make sure the issue is addressed promptly and efficiently. Yeah. Because they're dragging their feet and the kids are feeling hopeless. They're feeling helpless. Parents are fed up. A lot of my clients are parents right now. They contact me constantly. I've done this. I've written this notice. I've went to this meeting. No one is hearing me. No one is listening to me. What should I do? And this is where I come in and I say, okay.
That's when you go up to the school and kick some. No, I'm just kidding. You be like, oh, I was trying not to get black on y'all, but you took it there. No, I am not advocating violence, y'all.
We definitely want to maintain our composure.
Yes,
we definitely want to do that. But I know it can be really frustrating because
because here's what I'm thinking. Really I'm thinking. I love that. And thank you so much for your expertise. Here's what I'm thinking as a parent, though. I'm thinking while I'm doing that, and while I'm going up the chain of command, and while I'm sending letters, my child's still being bullied.
Exactly, and that was my point.
So it's like, for me, it's my job to protect my child. So if I'm not getting help and I don't feel like I'm getting hope, and every day, day after day, while I'm trying to fight the system, my kid is still dealing with that. I don't know what that's doing to my child mentally.
Yes.
Physically, it's probably stressing them out. There are probably all these other emotions that I don't even know that's happening.
Yes.
That's the part that scares me, because then that's when mom walks into the bathroom and finds her child hanging in the bathroom because they didn't get to it soon enough and they didn't realize the impact that it was making on the child. That's what scares me. Like, how do we save more children's lives? Because it's starting to become a thing where every week you turn on the news, some kid has killed themselves because of being bullied about something. Like, how do we really, seriously, realistically protect our children? And a lot of times the people who are in those positions in schools, they don't care. And they just don't care because it's not their child.
Yeah, until it happens to your child, that's when it becomes
now it's a priority. Now it's real. Now it's a priority.
Now it's real.
Yeah.
It shouldn't take that.
Yeah.
It shouldn't take it hitting home, close to home, for you to feel that, okay, now it's time for me to do something. Yeah. No, we need to be proactive. We need to be really empathetic and put ourselves in other people's shoes. Because it's like you said, it's happening on a day-to-day basis. And it's becoming so scary and so alarming that we have to do something about it. We need to stop sweeping the problem under the rug and make sure we address the issue head on. These kids are dying. They're dying every day. Okay, they're becoming depressed, anxious. Their grades are dropping. And my daughters, when it happened to them, they said, I don't want to go to school.
Right.
And I've never heard that from them. I don't hear that from my daughters. They love going to school.
Yeah.
They love interacting with their peers, and they want to be in school. So if you take that away from them because they're scared to confront their bully, and you're making the environment uncomfortable, you're failing to address the issue, that's a problem, because now it's interfering with my child's learning.
Right.
It's interfering not only with their academics, but also their social development. And that is a problem. So
well, you seem like you can keep your composure. So maybe we just need to hire you to come and talk. Like you be the liaison or something like that, because you seem like you definitely have the expertise, but you also seem like you have that demeanor to really stay focused on what the ultimate goal is.
I have a lot of patience. I'm also trying to keep things very professional and put things in perspective, because like I said, is the blame is not only in the schools, but it's also in the home. So we have two parts here. It's a shared responsibility. The parents have to do their role, and the schools also have to do their role. No one is going no one is going free on this. It's like no one is excused. You don't get a free pass. You have to play your role.
So what's the conversation that you have with your children when your daughters went through this? What's the conversation that you have with them when they say, "Mommy, I don't want to go back to school"? What's that parent-child conversation that you have?
It really bothered me, and I just had to tell them. I said, you know what? You cannot allow anyone to stop you from going to school. You enjoy learning, and we're going to make sure we address this issue. I am here to support you, and I'm not going to stop until this issue is resolved. So I showed them that I was their number one advocate. I showed them that we're in this together, that it's going to stop, and it did stop, because I made it very clear to the principal at the time, like you mentioned, while you're going through your protocols and you're looking into this child's behavior and looking at the camera and trying to see if you're able to pick up anything versus what I'm telling you, that's happening on a weekly basis, my child is going through the mental and the internal, issues that they're battling with that. So it's like, you have to constantly reassure your children that you're there for them, and you're going to make sure this issue goes away. And you have to follow through. You have to be persistent and make sure that the issue goes away. Otherwise, it just it just ends up bad for a lot of people.
Yeah, and I agree. And thank you so much for that. Thank you for sharing your own personal story and testimony with what you went through with bullying, even with your own children. And I do think it requires either persistence and consistently showing your kids that you're their advocate and we're going to resolve this, or taking your earrings off. No. But I think it's very, very important that you're persistent, that you stick with it, that you don't give up. And you said something earlier which I thought was powerful, which is making sure that you document things.
Absolutely.
Like really, really be intentional about documenting
Yes.
and keeping records and this date and this time and this happened and then I took this action or
Yeah.
whatever is happening in the situation. Now I know that you wrote a book or two, I believe.
Yes, I have
on
them
the
right
topic.
here.
Tell us about the books and where people can get the books.
All right, my first book, A Bully on the School Bus, right here. I published this early 2016, I believe. Yes, 2000.
Time flies, right?
Yeah, time flies. Time flies. But this was my pride and joy. This book was inspired by my research study on bullying. And what happened was I interviewed a group of parents whose children were actually going through bullying. And after I completed the study, I felt like it was something else I needed to do. I couldn't just put down my books, my papers, just put down my materials and say, okay, I'm done, and walk away when the issue still exists.
Yeah.
So this book was basically, again, it was an inspiration for my research study.
I'm going to show it to people on Facebook so they can get a good look as well, you guys. They're loving the conversation. Yep. Someone says more workshops on teaching children not to be bullies.
That's right.
And what actions are considered bullying.
Yes.
Starts in the home for sure. Yeah, I think thank you so much, Michelle. That's such a great suggestion, is teaching more children not to be bullies and what dictates that you are a bully. Because sometimes the kid don't even know they're a bully.
That's right. That's right.
Great suggestion. There's the book. Yes. And
And the second book here, Sophia Writes to Her Bully. Again, it's also inspired by my research study. So again, these are just tools I wanted to just put in place for parents in particular to be able to read with their children, encourage kids to speak up.
Yeah.
Because both of these stories here basically just outlines how, you need to tell your parent what's going on. Don't try to keep it to yourself. Don't bottle it up and think that, it's going to go away.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it's getting worse.
Yeah.
So again, these books here are very encouraging, supportive for students just to see what bullying looks like in different forms and how to address the issue.
And I love that suggestion as well that Michelle mentioned about doing the workshops and teaching kids what bullying really is, what defines it. But also I think another great workshop would be teaching other kids how to be an advocate for the kid who's being bullied.
Yes, the upstanders.
So I want to be an advocate as the parent, but also I want people in school who are witnessing the behavior to step in as advocates and speak up, for the kid who's being bullied as well.
Absolutely. I usually emphasize on that when I'm speaking to the youth. I tell them it's okay to try to help someone out. You don't have to put yourself in a very compromising situation and jeopardize your safety, but you can run and go get a teacher. You can say, hey, stop, and just show that you're trying to help someone. Because if it was you, the shoe was on the other foot, you would also want someone to step in and try to help you as best as possible.
Absolutely.
So I do encourage being a bystander. Don't just watch. Try to get help.
Absolutely. Don't just pull out your phone and you videoing something
and
crazy that's happening.
Yeah, and trying to go viral.
Right, exactly.
No.
Like serve somebody else, help somebody else, support somebody else. Like I'm a huge advocate. Like I'm a big advocate for people who are kind of the underdog. So you'll catch me jumping into everything. I'll be like, I know you didn't just talk to her like that. My kids be like, Mommy, can we just get out the store? Can we just get out of the store?
And that's why I'm so passionate about this topic, because I don't like seeing people being taken advantage of. I really don't like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for the conversation. It was so juicy. I learned a lot. Thank you guys for being here. Everybody's saying they love it. Tawanda says, deal with the issues that cause a child to bully. Deal with the underlying issues. I love that. Thank you so much for chiming in. So tell people how they can get in touch with you, stay connected with you, and get the books, and then we'll take a break and come back with our next guest.
All right. These books are available on Amazon online and Barnes & Nobles, so you can get your copies there. And you can stay in touch with me on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook at Dr. Mildred Payton or at Bullying Expert. So I'm always there. Just shoot me an email, or actually my email address is welcome@drmildredpayton.com. So you can always reach me there directly.
Fantastic. So Dr. Mildred, Mildred, last name is Payton, Peyton. If you didn't catch any of that, we'll have this up on our YouTube channel, or you can Google her because she is Googlelicious. All right, we're going to take a brief break. Thank you so much, Dr. Payton. We'll be right back with our next guest. Dr. Mary J. Huntley is going to be in the hot seat. We'll be right back.
We have powerful words, we have powerful minds. We use our voices and freedom takes flight. And we're ready to work, we're ready to win. We have a strategy and now we can begin. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder, playtime is over. Now you are a champion. God is my witness. Imperfect perfection. Living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. All I need is inside of me. I am enough and now I see. Yeah, I will reach my destiny. Yeah, I don't need your permission. Yes, I'm on a mission. I'll win. Oh, oh, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now listen, I want y'all to repeat after me, okay? Because we're going to make some declarations in here today. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. You say. I'm building my legacy for the whole world to see. Say.
All right, and we are back with our next guest.
For the whole world to see me.
All right, now sing it, Tammy. All right, I love it. So my next guest here is Dr. Mary J. Huntley. She is an international best-selling author, a certified master life coach. Come on now with the master. She is a licensed counselor. I love this one. A wife of 45.
Yes.
How do you like somebody that long? Okay, all right, that's a whole different topic. Good. Come
That's
come
another
back.
subject.
Right. And she's the recipient of the Prince George's County Governor Citation. Her mission is to empower others, especially women, to soar above the storms of life and reach their God-given potential. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So, I see you all over social media doing amazing things.
Trying to
No,
empower
you ain't
others.
trying. No, you doing.
Okay.
You are doing.
All right.
And I love it,
Grateful.
and I celebrate you.
We
I celebrate
celebrate you.
anybody who is using their gift to touch other
Yes.
lives and impact other
Yes.
lives selflessly,
Yes.
right? And I see you
Yes.
doing that in such a big way. So I know that you coach and counsel others to move beyond their disappointments, beyond challenges and hurt. Like, talk to us about that. How did you get started, and where did that stem from?
It stems from the fact that I realized that many women, and let me start early on in life, and let me tap into your story, if I will, your signature story of being a product of Baltimore and some things and that kind of thing. Well, can any good thing come out of Garfield Southeast, okay? Well, here I am today because God's grace allowed me to get through Garfield so that I can share with some other individuals to say, you can do this.
Yes.
You can do this. Sometimes we look on individuals and we think it's such a hard, oh, I'll never get out of this. Yes, you will.
Yeah.
Yes, you will. Crazy glue commitment, Cheryl,
Yes.
will allow you to stick to your project until you've completed it. It's like the postage stamp. You stick to that package until it arrives.
Yes.
So I'm an advocate for the underdog as well, Cheryl. I sat and listened to you say that. My ears went up. That's what happens with her too.
I know. My
so
kids
I just love it.
My business, but I can't.
I can't.
I
Something,
can't mind my
and I'm grateful that I can.
Yes.
Because everybody needs somebody.
Yes.
Each one reach one, teach one.
Absolutely.
Is what we need to do.
Absolutely.
So that's where mine stemmed from, because I cannot talk about a problem if I refuse to be a part of the solution.
Yes. I love that.
I cannot talk about a problem if I refuse to be a part of the solution. So I mandate that I will just stay in here, just helping somebody. Stay in here, stay in here. That crazy glue commitment, oh yeah. I pause, but I don't stop.
I love it. And so the powerful thing about that is that, so we walk in our gifts.
Yes.
We do the thing that like is pressing on our spirit and our soul, right? And the crazy part is we think it's for somebody else.
Yes.
But how much fulfillment do you get out of walking it, right? So you helping somebody
Absolutely,
else. Absolutely,
positively.
But what do you get so much fulfillment and joy.
Probably more than they do.
Probably
more than they do.
Yes.
The fact of the matter is this: until you walk in your purpose, you are not nearly as fulfilled as you will be.
Yes.
Purpose will wake you up at night. Purpose will allow you to continue though you're physically tired. Purpose will allow you to say, I didn't think I could take one more step, but let's go.
Yes.
We got this.
Yes.
So
yes.
that's why it's so very important to walk in your God-given, preordained purpose. Do that thing that you could do if they didn't pay your dime. There's no doubt about it. Cheryl loves speaking.
Come on,
Cheryl
amen.
was born
amen.
to speak.
Amen.
That's
Don't
a-
give me the microphone.
That's
I'm
a
just
yes
trying
and
to
a
say,
yes.
Don't give me the microphone.
No doubt
yes
about
and
it.
Yes.
That's a yes and a yes. So find that thing
Yes.
that you feel so fulfilled from.
Yes.
You think you're helping somebody? Guys, they're really helping you.
Yes.
They're really helping
Yeah,
you.
and you're leaving that fingerprint that
Yes.
that is unique to you.
Very unique.
Like I love giving that experience. Like when I went
Exactly.
to Africa last year,
Yes.
you know, there's my fingerprint. I had to go up to the window and put my fingerprint
Yes.
on the glass. My
Yes.
husband couldn't do it for
No.
me. My children couldn't do it for me. I had to,
You
or
had
I wouldn't
to.
be able to pass through.
Absolutely,
And it's the
positively
same
not.
way in life. Like
it is.
you have a unique DNA and
Absolutely.
fingerprint that's meant to impact other people's
Absolutely.
lives.
Absolutely.
And somebody's gonna miss out on their blessing.
That's a
Somebody's
fact.
not going to walk through
That's
to
a
their
fact.
finish line
That's a fact.
if you keep it to yourself.
If you keep it to yourself.
And that's why
That's
I love
true.
the work that you're doing.
Absolutely.
So why don't you give us a few takeaways for a woman who is in a place where she feels like she's in quicksand. And maybe right now, you know, just her leg is in there, but she feels like she's being pulled in slowly but surely. Because that's how quicksand is.
Yeah.
It start off
Yeah.
slow,
Yeah.
and next thing you know, it's up to your neck and you
Yeah.
can't get out.
Yeah.
What can she do to start pulling herself out of that trying, challenging situation that has her stuck right now?
In the event you're out there in the listening audience and you feel that you're stuck and you're just not quite sure of how to move out, stand still and realize that each of us have, number one, a God-given purpose. What is that thing that challenges you when you think you're going to take your mind away from it? It's there gnawing at you. You need to finish that. You haven't finished this yet. All of us have that little unction down on the inside. What is that thing that fulfills you, that keeps you up at night, if you will? What is that thing that won't allow you to be still? Answer that question. Believe in yourself. Know that you can.
Yes.
Believe in yourself when others think you can't do it. Believe in yourself. Find your lane of brilliance and execute in it with excellence, with perception, with honesty. Know that you can make it. Connect with a tribe, if you will. And I'd like to invite you to Impact Nation, if you will, because we are a tribe. We are a tribe. We're here
on
for
now.
individuals.
Yes.
We're in here. Impact Nation.
Yes.
So just know, a winner never quits and a quitter never wins. Just know that this is a comma in your life and not a period.
Yes.
A comma says it's time to pause. A period says I need to stop. So for the individual who feels, I just can't do that, yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can do this.
Yes. And I think repeating that to yourself,
Yes.
there's something that happens with
Positive
your subconscious
affirmations.
mind. The
Yes.
more you tell it something,
Yes.
the more it believes it.
Absolutely.
That's why you find people
Positive
who
affirmations.
lie about everything.
Absolutely.
And they believe their own lie.
They believe it.
They tell it to you like it is true.
It's
oh,
true.
yeah, it really
Like
is.
it's really
They're like,
true.
it's raining outside. You're
Uh-huh.
like, girl, I just came in. It's 70
right,
degrees.
right.
Because they are so used to telling themselves
Absolutely.
a lie.
They are used
but
to
it
saying
works
it.
the same way with speaking truth to yourself.
Absolutely.
And speaking life into your own
Absolutely.
dreams and your
Absolutely.
own journey and your purpose.
Absolutely.
The more you speak it, the more you say it, the more you
speak
profess
it.
it, the
Absolutely.
more your subconscious mind says, oh my God, maybe I actually am
Maybe I
capable
can
of
do
doing
this.
this. And then you connect, like you said, with
Then
that
you connect.
tribe
You gotta
of
connect.
people who are egging you on. Like, girl, you
Absolutely.
can do
You
this.
got this.
You got this.
You got
right?
this.
You
You
should
got
not
this.
be on your journey to purpose and greatness by yourself.
No.
It just
Not meant to
doesn't
be.
even make sense.
Not meant to be.
And there are going to be tribes that maybe you come in contact with, but maybe it's not the right tribe.
Maybe it's not.
And you have to give yourself permission to
Absolutely.
withdraw from the
Withdraw.
tribes that are not the right
Absolutely.
tribes. Go find a tribe that has what you need, what you're looking for,
Absolutely.
that celebrate you.
Absolutely.
They don't
Tolerate afraid
teeth,
to. Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
click their teeth when you walk in the room because your light is too bright.
Right.
That's where you need to stay.
That's where
plugged
you need to
into.
stay. Absolutely.
And I cannot emphasize, when you are feeling in a space of being stuck, when you're in that space where you're like, I just can't do it no more. I can't even crawl another inch. That is when you need to plug in to the tribe.
Absolutely.
Do not isolate yourself.
Don't.
That's where the devil plays
Absolutely.
at, in isolation.
Absolutely.
He like, oh, I got her now. I got her now.
Yeah.
She ain't getting no help. She ain't getting no encouragement.
She's
She ain't getting
depressed.
no accountability.
Yeah.
She depressed.
Yeah.
I'm going to
She's
take her
depressed.
out now. So you cannot allow yourself to
Never.
go into isolation.
Reach out
Come on
to
now.
somebody.
We're going to church up in here.
Yeah,
What's the day? Is it Wednesday or is it Sunday? Is it Wednesday or is it Sunday?
Yes.
All right, look at here. We only had, look, we wish we could keep you here for the whole hour, but we do have another guest in the studio.
Absolutely.
You have been doing all these beautiful collaborations and book projects. You have the Don't Quit book project. You have Faith for Fiery Trials book celebration with my amazing prayer warrior, Elder Nicole Mason.
Absolutely.
You're a part of Entrepreneurial Elevation with me July 20th, as well as Speaking My Truth book celebration
coming
and
up.
SpeakerCon. Tell us about the books. Tell us why you keep telling your story.
I keep telling my story because I realize that I'm not sent to everybody, but I am sent to somebody.
Oh, come on.
And
Please say that again.
I'm
Please
not
say that
sent
again.
to everybody.
I'm about to write that down.
But I am sent to somebody.
Come on.
And once the connection's made, I know when I'm supposed to connect with an individual.
Yes.
Because one thing about God, He doesn't leave you out there alone. He connects you on the journey.
Yes.
He doesn't have you, where do I go from here? What is this? What is this? So, yeah, that's a good piece right there. Good piece. So, about the books, if we will. And yours truly, Cheryl, wrote the foreword to this absolutely amazing book. Yes. We're in this book collaboration, Faith for Fiery Trials. Now faith is, I must believe in me. I have to continue to believe in me when everybody else thinks that you don't matter.
Come on.
Well, I got news for you. My voice matters.
Yes.
And I won't shut up. I won't dummy down.
Yes.
I will keep speaking truth to power because women need to be heard.
Yes.
We have something to say.
Yes.
So Faith for Fiery Trials.
You passing them,
here.
hold them up.
Okay,
Come on
Faith
now,
for
y'all.
Fiery Trials. Okay. The next book collaboration, and this was absolutely the international best-selling one, is Voices of the 21st Century. It talks about women who influence, because that's what leadership is, simply influence. We influence, we inspire, and we make a difference. And we continue to make a difference. So international bestseller.
Come on. International bestseller.
International bestseller.
Come on, Dr. Barry Huntley. International. She ain't just national. She's
Don't
international.
Quit is my first solo project scheduled to release next month.
Come on,
Thanking God for that.
congratulations.
Thanking God because, again, it's important to me that I just encourage folk. Hang in there, folk. You got this. You can do this. Because the enemy wants you to quit. He wants you to quit. But you are more than a conqueror. You got this. You got this. You can do this. And no, it doesn't happen overnight. But I promise you, if you commit, number one, to yourself, hang in there, stay the course, stay in your lane, do what you love, you'll come out on the other side of victory. I guarantee it. And the other collaboration, Cheryl, yours coming up in July.
Yes.
You got two coming up.
Elevation.
Yes.
And then November, Speaking My Truth. So you just, I just love it. You just that's the beautiful thing. Your fingerprint is everywhere. Like I can't help but to be impacted because your fingerprint is in so many places. And that's what you want. You want your fingerprint to
Visibility
be in so many
trumps ability.
Be listening and clap.
Visibility
Come on
trumps
now.
ability.
This one right here. Fire.
Yeah.
How do people connect with you, and do you have any closing words about how people can move into their purpose and stay committed into that purpose?
Okay. You can connect with me. My website is www.drmaryjhuntley.com. All the information is there. The books are there, and all the things that I do are on that site. Take away, if you will, if you would take away one thing today, believe in yourself. Because if you don't, why should I?
Come on.
If you don't believe in you, why should I? Believe in yourself and get connected to those of like minds. Very important, like minds. Everybody doesn't have the same mind. So remember, you are here for a purpose. You're not for everyone, but I guarantee you, you're sent to someone.
Amen.
Believe in yourself.
I love it. Man, thank you so much. We just got to give you a round of
for
applause.
having me. Thank you.
Ooh, what a beautiful spirit. What a beautiful energy.
Thank
what a
you for having
powerful
me.
energy. Like
Thank
you
you
are
for having
definitely,
me.
that is your gift. Like you can tell when somebody's in their gift, in their lane of brilliance, in that God divine assigned purpose, because there's something that comes out of them that you can't. It ain't scripted.
It exudes.
You
No,
just,
no scripted.
It's not scripted.
No.
It's not
It's
pre-planned.
in
It
my
just happens. It's in her. Oh, she gonna sing too. Come on now. Dr. Mary J. Huntley, y'all make sure that you get connected with her, drmaryjhuntley.com. Thank you
for having me.
here.
Thank you.
Congratulations on all of the amazing
Thank you
book
so
projects.
much.
We're going to take a quick break and we're going to be back with our final guest. Y'all, don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. LaTalia Palmer is going to shut the building down. LaTalia Palmer as soon as we come back.
We have powerful words, we have powerful minds. We use our voices and freedom takes flight. And we're ready to work, we're ready to win. We have a strategy and now we can begin. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Time is over. Now you are a champion. God is my witness. Imperfect perfection. Living my mission and winning. See, we are influencers. We have fear but don't stop. I have the confidence to rise to the top. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Playtime is over. All I need is inside of me. I am enough and now I see.
Oh my God. So, woo, we just got goosebumps, chill bumps, all kind of bumps.
Dr. Huntley.
Look, we done had two powerful guests already, Dr. Mildred Payton and Dr. Mary J. Huntley. And we are going to shut it down with my good friend. I'm calling her my good friend, my sister in business, a warrior, a champion, woo, LaTalia Palmer. Let me give her the proper intro. She is the dream igniter. Not a dream igniter. She is the dream igniter. She is a certified coach, an empowerment trainer, inspirational speaker, a best-selling author, and a mother of four, helping women to heal toxic emotions and reignite their personal power. She empowers and equips them to take inspired action to manifest their dreams after major life setbacks. She believes that dreams are seeds planted within and are designed to be nurtured and manifested. If that manifestation does not occur, you become stuck and unfulfilled. Kind of the ongoing theme today. In addition, those who are meant to receive the fruits of your gifts will starve. Welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you for having me.
You know, that hug we had when you came in was real.
Listen.
So you have been in, let's just get to it. You have been in the fight for your life. Literally, the fight for your life. Tell our audience what battle you've been in, and give us the overview of what it has required of you, from you. Just give it all to us, because you're gonna touch some lives.
Okay, and I got some pictures for you that people ain't ever seen before, because I want you to understand and feel where I'm coming from, right? So just look at that, right?
Oh my goodness.
So on October 13th, 2017, after months of being put through a battery of sonograms, scans, had another mammogram, biopsies, PET scan, MRI, I was finally diagnosed. And I was diagnosed with an advanced stage of triple negative inflammatory breast cancer.
Wow.
Now, inflammatory breast cancer is very rare. 5% of the population of women who have breast cancer have inflammatory breast cancer. So because it's so rare, there's not enough research done. Not enough oncologists understand what it is, how to attack it. On top of that, having triple negative meant that it wasn't treatable by the normal hormonal treatments that patients receive. I could only get chemotherapy and radiation. So in that time of being diagnosed, I was fretful. Like, some people that know me could not believe what they heard coming out of my mouth. I have breast cancer. Who has what? So I'm going through my days just filled with fear because I didn't know what was going on with me. And when the doctor told me, it was a mouthful. It was foreign language to me. She said, you're not able to take this hormonal treatment. You have triple negative. You have inflammatory breast cancer. It's eating through your chest muscle. It's gone through your lymph nodes. And I'm like, wait a minute, time out, hold up, eating through my chest muscle? What do you mean eating through my chest muscle? So it was spreading like wildfire. In the picture that I just showed you, it became raging red. It was huge. It was more than, I think it was about 12 centimeters by the time they diagnosed me. So that's bigger than a tennis ball, and it's sitting on top of me. So I literally, my chest looked like that. I'm messing up the microphone. So all I could do in that moment was cry. That's all I could do was cry. I didn't know what was happening to me. And after I cried, I called on God. I called on God. Then I called cousins. And then I called friends.
God, then cousins, and what's the last one?
Friends.
And then friends, y'all, in that order. God, then cousins, then friends.
And my aunties. Because somebody was going to give me something that I needed to remind me of who I am, of what I have inside of me, of what I needed to dig into in order to get through this. And after, so one of my cousins I called, she's like, well, you got to be vegan like right now. Not tomorrow, not tonight, but right now. So the soldiers were lined up. They were ready, you know, and they couldn't show me the pain that they were going through because they wanted to be there for me. It wasn't later on until they, until everything had passed that they told me the pain that they felt and the place that they were sitting in and how helpless they felt. And so in going through this, I realized that this wasn't just about me. This was about everybody around me, everybody who was a part of my life, everybody that I touched. The hardest part wasn't even the fact that I had cancer. It was the fact that my sister was diagnosed with cancer a month after me. We found out that we had a gene, the BRCA1 gene, that gave us the increased risk of having breast and ovarian cancer. I live in Maryland, she lives in New York, and I couldn't help her. I'm the oldest of 7, and all I ever knew how to do was take care of my brothers and my sisters. And not to be able to touch her. Knowing the pain that I was going through.
Come on, Dr. Mary, pass the tissues, pass the tissues.
Knowing the pain that I was going through and just imagining her going through the same thing.
Thank you, sisters.
It broke me.
Sorry, one for you, one for me, girl.
Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, doctor. And then I found out that my daughter has the gene. My daughter's my eldest. She's 25. And that's not something that I've ever wanted to pass on to her. But the gift was that I was going through the battle, my sister was going through the battle, and it prompted her to get tested early.
Amen.
So we had to take what seemed to be dark, what seemed to be dim, and turn that into something that could empower her. So she's looking at the changes that we've made in our lives. She's looking at the mindsets that we've had to take on and the strength that we actually have that we didn't know we had. And she's been able to embody that for herself, right? So she's had to change her diet. She can't drink any more Red Bulls. She's a college student, right? She has to learn how to decrease her stress levels. So there are things she's doing now for herself that's going to help her moving forward.
Absolutely.
Right? And I know I'm a little bit all over the place, but that those were the most impactful things for me throughout this process. And then having to look into my children's face and tell them, your mother has breast cancer. I had to sit each of the 4 down and talk to them individually. And that took everything that I had in me, because I'm taking the most toxic dosages of chemo, 3 high dosages of chemo at one time. I can't walk. My joints are gone. They're just done. My joints were done. I couldn't walk down the stairs. I couldn't hold anything on my stomach, so I couldn't eat. So I was very weak. My mind was shot. I had what they call chemo brain. I couldn't remember too much of anything. I would be talking to you and lose a thought midair, and then have to dig back in, reach back to remember what I was about to say to you. Yeah. That was the scariest thing ever. And so trying to build up everything that I needed emotionally to talk to them, and to see the look on their face and them trying to be strong, and them trying to be strong, my daughter just broke down. My oldest son was in Kentucky. He was away at school. I could not put it on social media because I hadn't talked to him yet. Yeah. He didn't know what was going on. So I was very sensitive to the sacredness of the moment. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And so when he came home is when I told him. Because I didn't want him to be at school by himself and having to deal with that. I wanted him to be surrounded by his family. Absolutely. So my youngest children, my children are 25, 20, 16, and 14. So the youngest children, you know, they coped the best way that they could. The youngest child, he had brought home grades that looked like 25, 34. They had half a parent. I mean, I felt like my life was falling apart. However, by the grace of God, and I'm going to bring it back, by the grace of God, I was able to tap in. Remember everything that I learned. People say don't look back. Sometimes you have to look back because the things that you've gone through in the past are equipping you for what's happening now. Yes. You have to remember those lessons. And you have to remember with everything that you have, when it looks dim and the doctors are telling you they don't know what to do for you. You have to remember that God already gave it to you. You can't depend on their word. You can't depend on what they think is going to happen. When I got my breast cut off, my left breast got cut off. I got a picture of that for you, too. I
want to see, because I can't handle it.
Can't handle it?
Cherie's the nurse of the family, not me. I'm like, I'm like, oh, they be like, Cheryl passed out on the show. They trying to get her up.
They told me that I was going to have to do chemotherapy after they cut my breast off, and I was going to have to stay on this pill that they were giving me. And I said, God, no, this has to stop. This has to end. I looked at that mass, and I told it, you do not have a place here. You do not belong here. Yes. And when I was able to dig back and learn from the things that I've learned, and I got strong enough to speak to it, I told that mass, that mountain, that you are gone. You are cast into the sea. I don't care what sea, but you're out of here.
I don't care what sea, but
you are out of here. You are gone. And I said, you cannot take from me what God has given to me. You cannot. You do not have the authority to do that. Right? So when the doctor told me that I would have to continue, I said, no, God, come on. I'm crying. I cried at every doctor's visit. Oh, my God. My friends came with me. Oh, my Lord. I had to learn not to go to the doctor by myself. I had a girlfriend who shifted her entire schedule so she could come to chemotherapy with me every week so that she could go to the doctor with me. Multiple friends came to the doctors with me, but they had to catch me, right? So I made up in my mind that no, that wasn't going to happen. And after they cut my breast off, they got the pathology test back. The doctor said, I don't know how.
Come on now.
Come on.
But I cannot justify keeping you on chemotherapy.
Wow.
I cannot justify continuing that chemo pill.
Wow.
I said, you don't have to justify it.
That's right. That's right.
Because I'm just not doing it.
So you have been through, like I said, the fight of your life, and that's where you're gonna have to come back because we're gonna be out of time. And it's
right,
very
that's
rare.
right, Tom.
It's very rare that I don't have a whole lot to say, and I'm just like sitting, listening. But I'm intrigued. I feel it. I love you dearly. I've seen you fight.
Yes.
In these last, 7 or 8 minutes,
Okay.
share with us how you went from that, from broken, battered, bruised, to the space of igniting, and what you're doing with that Ignite movement.
The first thing I had to remind myself, and I would tell anybody, is to remember that God gave you dominion.
Yes.
Right? God gave you dominion over the land, but that first starts with your inner territory.
Yes.
That dominion starts with your inner landscape. And that means that you have to take dominion and control, charge of your mind. You have to take charge of your thoughts, because your thoughts will leave you in a state where you're terrorizing yourself, because you have to walk into the unknown.
Yes.
And we don't like the unknown.
Right.
We don't like the unknown, but we got to know that when we close our eyes at night and that sky is dark, there's goodness, there's strength, there's rest, there's stillness, there's greatness being born out of that darkness, out of that unknown. And we have to trust that. So I had to learn to really dig in and trust that. And what am I igniting? I'm igniting my personal power, my confidence, my ability to dream, my ability to imagine where I want to be. When I had that big lump, I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know how I was going to get out of that space. But I had to ignite the things that were already implanted in me so that I can realize that place that I was desiring to be.
Yes, absolutely.
Does that make sense?
It makes absolute sense.
And it wasn't just talking it. It was working it. It was practicing it. It was going through the muck and the mire and everything that I did not want to look at about myself. Like there's an internal and an external process to success, right? So I had to look at the mass. I had to look at the breast. What is the breast? The breast is about nurturing. The tumor is about hardness, stiffness, things that you don't want to move past. So what was it that I wasn't nurturing? What was it that I didn't want to move past? Like I had to ignite that and do that work as well as the external work.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
So on multiple levels, you are igniting to get where you want to be. And like you said earlier, that finish line moves.
Right. You thought you had it aligned.
That finish line
together.
moves. So when I was sharing with Dr. Huntley, when I wrote this book, I wrote this book after my mom passed. I told my mother, I promised my mother I would write a book. I thought I'd seen it all.
Yeah.
Been divorced, gone through incest,
Come on.
displaced, cut salary, having to look my kids in the face and say, we ain't got enough today, but I promise you we'll have it tomorrow.
Yes.
Right? Thought I'd seen it all.
Yep.
Went to go press the final button to self-publish this, and I get the call. Friday the 13th, I get the call, and it was the day that I was supposed to publish this. So I didn't publish it until that Sunday, the 15th, but I said that nothing or no one will take this away from me.
Yes.
And I did my book launch the week before I started chemo because I didn't know what chemo was going to do to me.
Wow.
So I said, this is a dream that is worth fighting for.
Yes.
And I'm going to hold on by hook or crook,
Right.
and we're going to get it done, right?
Yes.
And everybody in my village stood with me.
Yes.
They made this book launch happen.
Yes.
I couldn't think straight. I'm thinking about my hair falling out.
Yep.
I had to go get my hair cut because I'm like, you're not going to have me waking up and my hair all over the pillow.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. I'm going to go and get my own hair cut. So I'm going to get my hair cut. My cousin, she telling me, well, you got to wear a scarf because you look like you got 3 titties. And I'm like, no, I don't want to wear a scarf. I bought this outfit like I'm fussing and cussing all the way through, and they dragging me along. Like, and so your people gotta have the connections, and you have to be authentic about those connections.
God, cousins, and friends.
And aunties.
And aunties. God, cousins, friends, and aunties. Latalia, we're going to have to have you come back.
Okay.
We're going to have to have you.
All
I mean, to all three of y'all today, y'all all are invited back. We will get you on the calendar because your stories are powerful. Your story is powerful.
Thank you.
It just brings me so much joy to see you here.
Yes.
Here in the flesh.
Yes, Cheryl.
Right.
And thank you for always reaching out to me.
I didn't
like
do,
she always
look,
reached out to me to check on me.
I just adore you. We've been in this for a minute together. You know that,
girl,
right?
listen, was it 2009?
From t-shirts. From
t-shirts. I came to that first event. I was a vendor in
come
Largo.
on.
Yeah, at the hotel.
We have been talk about hook or crook. We've been connected since before speaking. Since before I ever knew I had a voice.
Absolutely.
When I was still working as a legal secretary and on
I got
weekends,
her first book with a little short haircut with the
Yep,
curls.
yep. So when I tell you, when I saw that, it just took me aback, and I didn't know. And sometimes we don't know. And I think what I'd love for you to do is come back and talk about how do people who want to support you when they don't know how.
That, and when you don't know how,
and
because sometimes you don't even know what you need.
Right. And
that was huge.
I hate saying to somebody, let me know if you need something.
Yeah.
I hate that because it seems disingenuous, but it's really genuine. But I don't know what to tell you.
Don't know
I don't know. So I'd love to have you come back.
Absolutely.
And have that dialogue.
Absolutely.
And maybe we'll do a whole panel
That'll be
on
great.
that.
It's so important.
On people who are survivors and warriors.
Yes.
And talking about how do you support people when they don't know and you don't know. What can you do anyway in spite of it?
Absolutely.
But I love you, sister.
I
Y'all
love
get
you.
the book. Where can they tell them where they can get the book?
They can find it on Amazon.com.
Yes.
Ignite,
go get it. LaTalia Palmer. And then how do they connect with you? Stay connected with you.
Stay connected with me, LaTaliaPalmer.com, LaTalyapalmer.com, or at Coach LaTalia, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Or you can Google her.
Or Google me, baby.
She's Google-licious. LaTalia Palmer, you are a warrior. You are a victor.
Thank you.
You are it. You are the Phoenix.
God.
We are so excited to see where you're going to go and what God is going to do in you, for you, through you, as you continue on this journey of helping other people to ignite. Y'all get the book. Learn more, and connect with her so that you can get. Sometimes you need to read somebody else's story because some of us having too many pity parties. And we having a pity party and don't even realize what somebody else next to us is going through.
Amen.
And as women, we wear smiles and we walk out and it's all good, but you don't know what somebody else is going through, what they just pressed through, what they struggled through. And so you always have to keep things into perspective. And I'm big on gratitude, right? Always, I love how you found gratitude in what can we be grateful for even in the midst of this dark moment.
That's right.
I have cancer. My sister has cancer, but damn it, my daughter, we going to catch it early.
That's right.
That's gratitude, right? Gratitude. You can't have gratitude and be stressed out and worried at the same time.
You gotta smile.
You gotta smile.
You gotta strengthen your immune system.
That's it.
You gotta keep your immune
when you
system
make
strong.
gratitude that practice,
right.
wake up. Let me just jot down the top 3 things I'm grateful for right now. It
That's
will
right.
shift everything in your internal and in your energy. So
That's right,
thank you.
You're
Y'all
welcome.
connect with her. Guys, thanks for being here with us. We will be here. Yes, I know. We had some hyper guests today. But it was great. This is the kind of energy I love.
Yes.
We will see you next time on Impact the World Radio. I don't know the exact date, but it's like the 4th Wednesday of every month. I got so much travel coming up. I'm trying to keep up with myself. Please wish me safe travels, myself and my family. And all of the amazing ladies who are coming with us to go to Paris.
That's gonna be awesome.
And we're counting down. We're 11 days.
Wow.
Miss Mickey Taylor, thank you. She's our keynote speaker. She's coming to Paris with us. And we even were blessed. God connected us with some women who live in Paris.
Oh, beautiful.
Who are business owners who will be coming to the conference. So just excited. You guys keep impacting the world with your unique gifts and your unique fingerprint. Until next time.
We have powerful words, we have powerful minds. We use our voices and freedom takes flight. And we're ready to work, we're ready to win. We have a strategy and now we can begin. We are standing bolder, shoulder to shoulder. Playtime is over. Time is over. Now you are a champion.